So we are here to answer the question, is virtual UPW worth it? Yes, so we're talking about Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within, the virtual experience. So this is an event that I have been to in person several times, and then I've also been to the virtual version one time, and I'm about to do it a second time coming up in just a couple weeks. In 2 weeks, I'm going to be attending it for the second time. So I think you can already tell from what I just told you that I'm going to say that it's worth it because I attended it back in July and I'm attending it again now here in November. Also, I've attended it several times in person and I absolutely love that experience. Now, the question is it worth it compared to the live in-person experience? Well, you can never replace what a live event is like. You just can't do that, especially a Tony Robbins event. They are unbelievable. If you haven't been to one, they're absolutely incredible. I've done UPW a couple times. That's Unleash the Power Within. I've also done Date with Destiny. Going to be doing Business Mastery later in this year. So I can tell you that these events are unbelievable. You can never replace what these are like in person, but I can tell you that nobody is doing a better job at replacing a virtual event or replacing a live event with a virtual event. Nobody's doing a better job than Tony is. Like, it's incredible. Now, I run virtual events, and that's why this setup is the way that it is. And, I'm running virtual events. By the way, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jake Ballentine. I'm the founder of the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network. And if you are a new, aspiring, or experienced speaker, author, coach, or any other kind of message-driven entrepreneur, come and hang out with us in the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/speaker author coach. But we used to do a lot of live events. And then since everything that's happened, we do virtual events. Now, obviously I don't have the budget that Tony Robbins has. He's put, I think it was $7 million into his setup. And it's absolutely incredible. So we're going to go to some pictures right now. We'll go to some pictures so you guys can see what this is like. So, this setup is unbelievable, absolutely incredible what he's done here. I believe that this setup, if you look online, maybe I'll include a link to the video. This kind of technology was created for The Mandalorian, or at least they used it filming The Mandalorian. It's pretty cool. But I mean, it's really incredible. And as you can see here, you got all the different Zoom faces. You have all the different screens on there, which is really incredible. He's extremely interactive and engaging. I did a unboxing video just a little bit ago. I'll include that below. But they give you like these different things so you can engage and that kind of stuff. They send you this cool box of all this stuff. Box of tricks here. Let's see, I'll show you the top of it. So they send you this box, send you an actual physical workbook so that you're not just doing it in virtual. It makes it feel like it's much more real, which is really exciting. But they do the best they can to make it to replace that experience. So it's pretty cool. Now, obviously, you can't replace that live in-person feel because Tony events in person, I mean, they're like a rave. Like it's incredible what they're like in that setting. But you can make it the best that you can. And look, we're dealing with what we have. It's not what anyone wants, but it is what it is. And when it comes down to it, I think it's people spend too much time wishing things were different and not enough time just saying, okay, how can I make the best out of the situation? And Tony said, like, he tried to figure out how he could do it a social distance event, how he could do it with less people, and anyway, just didn't work. And then finally says, you know what, I'm going to go and spend $7 million, maybe it was $9 million. I don't remember. It was a lot of money that he spent on this to make this incredible experience. So this is super, super cool, really exciting. And so what they've done here is absolutely amazing. You can see here, he's able to connect with people, bring people up on the screen. You see people dancing, you see people clapping. He's as interactive as you possibly could be in this kind of setting. And so I would say if anyone's skeptical about it, honestly, like first of all, it's cheaper than going live. Not only is it cheaper than going live, just like the ticket price, but you're also not flying somewhere or traveling somewhere. You're also not paying for a hotel. You're not spending those kind of things for 4 nights. And I think it's more than worth it. That's my opinion on it. And like I said, I'm I've purchased it a second time. And on top of that, I attended the event several times before. So obviously, I think it's worth it. I don't know if you can have a better review than that in terms of whether or not I think it's worth it, because I'm going back again. And why am I going back again? I'm going back because even though I know the content, I feel like I learn something new every time I attend. And more importantly, I get that refreshed feeling. And I come out it with the same takeaway every single time. The same biggest takeaway is that I choose not to suffer, and that pain in life is inevitable, but suffering is optional. And we get to make that choice. And we really get to make the choice to appreciate everything. All of us have problems. All of us have issues. Tony talks about how problems are a sign of life. The only people without problems live in cemeteries. So we want problems. Problems aren't a bad thing. It's something that we all have. It's something that we all deal with. And so for me, I go, okay, we got problems. That's fine. But this helps me to get into that mindset where I'm ready to face those problems, where I'm able to face those challenges as someone who's a business owner, a husband, a father, a friend, a family member, all those things. That all brings responsibility. And so when you have responsibility, you have challenges and you have problems. And I've found as my business has grown, I haven't had less problems. I've had more problems. And we get the opportunity to learn to deal with those in the best way possible. How are we going to deal with those? How are we going to handle those? And attending this event as often as I can helps me to get in touch with that, and really gives me the tools and the reminders to be able to focus on certainty, to be able to prime myself every day, to be able to feel certain, to be able to face whatever challenges come, and most importantly, to be grateful and to remember that life is beautiful and that there's so much good in the world if we choose to see it. So much good if we choose to see it. So in my opinion, is attending Tony Robbins' Unleash the Power Within virtual worth it? I would give a huge resounding yes. Absolutely, it's worth it. You got to go and try it out for yourself. They give incredible guarantees as well. I think if you're not satisfied, you can attend and then tell them you're not satisfied. And don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's in their policies. And like I said, there's nobody who's doing it better right now. Yes, I would rather go live in person, but that's not what's going on right now. That's not the setting right now. That's not what's going on. And look, I just recovered from COVID, and it was no joke. Like, we were so sick, and I'm a young, healthy guy, and we were very, very sick. And so point is right now it's not what's happening. So this is the best that we can do. And Tony has gone above and beyond what is expected, above and beyond what other people are doing. And I just don't think that you'll be disappointed in attending. Now, when you attend, I'm going to encourage you to listen to the advice that it gives about trade your expectation for appreciation, and appreciate what you are being given and what is coming to you. So I'll tell you some things that you might not know, and I think it will be the same because it's been the same before. Tony is not able to speak 4 days in a row. And a lot of people get upset about that. There's another speaker who comes, Joseph McClendon III. He's fantastic. He'll speak day 2, then day 2, Joseph will be there. Day 4, it's more like Joseph is hosting other speakers who are coming. And so when you look at that, people sometimes get upset about that. But Tony speaks for like 12 hours on day 1 and day 3. So when you really think about it, like most events you go to, the speaker's only going to, if someone's hosting an event, I mean, honestly, if I'm hosting an event, if I'm hosting a 3-day event, I'll be speaking for 6 hours for 3 days in a row because we have lunch breaks, we have, those kind of things. But Tony's speaking for 12 hours of those 2 days. Now, it's roughly, it might be 8, it might be 12, depending on the time, because he doesn't stick to an exact script. I've seen him many times. I've been to this event many times, and it's always a little bit different. I don't know exactly what the rhyme or reason behind that is. I've been to one that ended at like 2 a.m, and another one ended at like 9 p.m. So I don't know. It just depends on what he wants to talk about and what's going on and how many interventions he's doing, how he's feeling, how his health is. The one time it was shorter, he was very sick. He said he was throwing up earlier in that day, but yet he still came out and did it. So think about this. He's still going to be speaking a lot, and that's going to be day 1 and day 3. Day 2 is more about the curriculum that is in here, and you're going to be going through processes, and Joseph is the one who's going to be hosting that. Day 4 is a day focused on health, but also day 4, honestly, just telling you straight up, day 4 there is a lot of promotions. They'll talk about the other events and offers that they have. All those events are fantastic, but some people complain that there's too much of the selling. And my advice to you is, if you feel like it's too much, just focus on what you had and don't worry about it. Okay, whatever. So they're pitching and promoting the program. That's fine. Just be aware that that's going to happen. But don't let it bother you, and focus on what you gained instead of, oh, I wish that they weren't doing this. I wish they weren't doing it. Decide whether or not you're going to go to those events. Now, I think I said earlier in this, I've already attended Date with Destiny. I'm attending Business Mastery this year. I'm going to be attending all of those events. So I think that they're well worth it and incredible programs. I'm also in sales. I'm also a speaker, and I understand how these things work. So yeah, they do a lot of promotion within the event, but just realize that you can gain something from it, especially any of you who are in business or sales or anything like that. Listen, because these people are masters. You can learn so much just from watching it. And if you're not in sales and you have no interest in it, that's fine. You can just kind of review what you've done throughout the day, but there's so much content that you're being given, and don't let something like what I just telling you, that I'm in all the Facebook groups and I see a lot of complaints about it. So I'd say don't let it bother you. Don't let it bother you. Don't let it take you away from all the other things that have been given. Just don't let it do it. Don't let it take you away. Focus on how much you've been given. And like I said, I've gone to this event many times, so I think it's well worth it. Worth every penny. So much more than that. And I'd highly, highly encourage you attending. So when it comes down to it, the only downfall of virtual UPW is that it's not live in person, and that also brings a lot of pros as well. But it's the best we can do right now. It's the best we can do right now, and in my opinion, it is well worth it. Absolutely amazing, and I hope that you enjoy it. Let me know what you thought about this video in the comments. Maybe you have a thought on some of the things I shared here. Maybe you have some ideas. I can tell you this, that Tony's work has drastically changed my life, like drastically, absolutely drastically changed my life, changed my business, my health, my relationship with my wife, relationship with friends and family members. I mean, the transformation has been drastic, both in a emotional and spiritual way and in a financial way. Drastically different. My business is so different than the first time I attended one of his events about 4 years ago. So I would highly recommend it. Is it worth it? Absolutely. And if you apply the principles that Tony talks about and Tony teaches, it can drastically change your life as well. So anyway, hope that you enjoyed this video. This has been Jake Ballentine, founder of the Speakers, Authors, and Coaches Network. Just want to remind you that you are awesome. I'll talk to you later. Bye.